Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So, I have continued to level this build up because I've actually been having a lot of fun with actually, funnily enough, shield. I've got the audio up too loud. With shield charge instead of shield crush, I actually found it to be a lot better than the ye old shield crush. So, I will show you what I've done since. So I do have an updated POB, which I'll dump into the description for you to upload and have a look at. Now, I'll note it says 14.4 million DPS, but you got to remember that that's accounting for attack speed. The actual true DPS is 4.25 mil. So it's still a great DPS for where it's at. This is, I think, the tree I've got is level 88, but I'm up to level 87. So it's doing pretty good. So basically how this is currently working, and you'll have seen it in the footage at the very start, taking on Elder and Shaper. Basically you're just running through maps, and then you've got a bunch of linebacker bros that are spawning based on your corpse walkers and General's Cry. Now, I need to chuck that in there. Oh, there we go, upgrade. Whew. Alright, so since I've made a few changes to the actual gearing, and I'll talk through that now, and I'll talk you through where I'm at on the tree as well. So basically, currently using a Crown of the Inward Eye. This seems to be the most commonly used headpiece for this particular type of build. The other side of this is big amount of life, also more mana, and also shitload of armor. Can't go wrong with this. If you can get the enchant on it, you want the cooldown reduction on your General's Cry, not the extra Mirage Warrior. And the reason why is you want it cooling down more, so you're sending out more of these guys more consistently. So that's the first thing that you need to focus on. Chest piece. I've got a 6-link Crashian's Carpus. The reason why is the Berserker class, and this is what is misleading in some videos that I've seen. The Berserker class is squishy as fuck. And the best way to get around this is to use the Christian Carpus, and this is because you get Aspect of the Crab. And basically what that means is you get crab barriers, you get up to 15 crab barriers that stack as long as you haven't taken damage recently. And then basically, or physical damage, sorry. And you get 2% additional physical damage reduction per crab barrier. So obviously that's 30% physical damage reduction, which negates the 10% that you lose on the Ascendancy for Aspect of Carnage. Really important thing to remember, this reduces the incoming damage and makes it a lot more sustainable. This I have up to 5,000 HP. This will eventually, in probably third and last video I'll do for this in a few days, this will get up to like 5.5, nearly 6,000 HP, and will be good. No changes to the link setups, except now I've got a level 21 shield charge, and then obviously Impaled, General's Cry, Brutality, Pulverize, and Melee Fizz in the chest piece. Pretty much from that, it needs a little bit better of a shield, which is easy enough to acquire as long as you got a couple of X in the bank. Still using the Dark Seer because we are using Blind in the tree, and that's mainly because we're applying the use of Second Sight. Which stems from Brutal Restraint, which is the Nasima role on that particular gem. And then basically I've got my Sinestral Gloves, which increase the damage of my shield. I've also got All Resist, Life, and some Life Regeneration and Mana on that, make them more sustainable. I did switch out my belt from a Reslythus so I could pack in more HP. So what I actually did do is I got a leather belt with a percentage maximum life roll. You can either get this with Elder rolls or Elder influences or Hunter influence belts. You can craft this yourself. I just bought mine for 1x, it was cheap enough. Corpse Walkers, obviously. Amulet, I'm selling a few things in the background. Amulet has a Pride Reservation, Mana Reservation reduction. I could get a much better amulet, but right now I'm not losing too much sleep over this. Ideally, I want a +1 to physical strength and 1+ to physical gems and 1+ to strength, or +1 to strength gems. And then obviously the anoint I want is Gladiatorial Combat, which gives you increased attack damage per 75 armor on your shield. So the more shield armor you've got, the more damage you're doing with this skill. Rings, vulnerability on hit or resist, and wherever you can get life. My rings aren't the best in slot, but they are maxing out my resistance pool, which is important. And then obviously my other rings. So my rings have a lot of improvement is basically what I'm saying, but right now they're doing the job. That's mainly it for the main gear setup. Flasks, just lionized raw. I do have a Blood of the Karui, quartz flask, and obviously, you know, corrupted blood immunity, immunity to chill, and also poison immunity. All really good things to have on trigger, so when you get chilled, when you get poisoned, and this will eventually be when I get hit with corrupted blood, until I get a corrupted blood immunity duel. Now, the biggie points that we're going to look at. So, the tree. From the last tree, no real significant changes. The only thing that I've done is finalize my cluster jewels. So you'll notice I have Warning Call jewel, Rattling Bellow, Warning Call and Rattling Bellow. I can go further with this as well. I can get a triple socket jewel here. So if I was going to do that, I'd go like Furious Assault, Iron Breaker, and Master of Fundamentals. Yeah, I might do that if I so decide to. And then basically I've also got a Rattling Bellow and a Lead by Example, and I've got Rattling Bellow on every one of these medium clusters, mainly because you get 8% increased chance to do double damage, which means your shield charge guys are going to do a lot more damage. And then we come up here, we've got Haunting Shout, which generates Intimidate, and then another Rattling Bellow. And then up here we've got Cry Wolf, which gives you, increased power, minimum power of your war cries, and increased exerted attacks deal 25% increased damage, and then Rattling Bellow, and then basically that's giving me more double damage. That's pretty much the and sorry, you probably want to get Force Multiplier, Iron Breaker, and Master of Fundamentals. Sorry. That's pretty much all there is for this update. I'll put in updated POB in the description. There's not a lot to it. Feel free to ask questions. Currently, if I look at stats-wise, defensively, I've got 82% damage reduction with my crab barriers up, max resistances. Freeze avoidance is 100%, so I can't be frozen either, which is really good. There is a little bit of chance to block, but who really cares about that, and some life regeneration. It's not the tankiest build in the world, and some of the things that it really struggles at doing is things, like pretty much any of the 10 boss Maven maps, things like that. It's just the inherent limitation of running a Berserker, and unless you're running something like General's Cry with Blade Flurry or something like that, or the Kana Kulamath, I think it is, Kulkamath or whatever, replica Alberon's version of General's Cry, it's just not as strong as it could be. I could switch to Shield Crush. That'll get me up to like 5-6 million DPS easy. But then, there is a variant to go crit stacking. The problem with that is we're talking mirror level investment, and I didn't walk into this build with the intention to do mirror level gearing. So yeah, I'll run a T14 map and I'll run you through what it looks like. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Alright, so we'll just run a cemetery map and I'll show you what it looks like as it is right now. And I do have an MTX on mine too, because I of course bought a shield charge MTX, like the madman that I am. Alright, so basically we've got our auras up, yep. So as you can see, they pretty much just charge at everything. And then you're just gonna hit shield charge around, you get life tap, generate your thingamabobs. I'm going to say that your fortify. That's a new word for fortify, thingamabob. And then, yeah, and it looks pretty dope too with the MTX as well. And then, yeah, when your game doesn't freeze, you just basically cheese your way through maps. And then we can hit our Berserk, run around, and obviously we want to generate some frenzy charges too, because we can. I think we can. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this build. Bossing, you just basically run around in a circle. And I'll show you very shortly. Where's the boss? There he is. Alright, so we go into arena. Basically, you just want to switch to blood stance, proc, drop a totem, and then just run around him and let them do all the work. And then there you go. That's a T14 map. Yeah, so anyway, just a really quick build update. New POB in the description. I'm still going with the league. I haven't streamed, so I haven't been playing hardcore mode, but I am going to be going into hardcore on the weekend. Next week I'll be doing D2R when that comes out, but we'll be doing POE all the way up until then. Anyway, if you like this video, like and sub. If you're getting bored and we're looking for something different to play, feel free to jack my POE and bloody have a crack at it. This isn't an expensive build. This is a pretty cheap build. The rings I've got were just like throwaway trash rings I had sitting in my stash, and I'd already crafted most things outside of the unique items. Pretty much just threw that in there and then just invested in the jewels. The cluster jewels aren't too expensive aside from the large clusters. So yeah, even the Watcher's Eye I've got isn't an expensive Watcher's Eye, and in fact I could probably switch that Watcher's Eye out for a better pride roll, to be completely honest with you. What's our chance to impale? Oh no, I need to keep that on there. So it's 105%. So with the Watcher's Eye. So yeah, definitely keep that Watcher's Eye on there with the increased impale. But yeah, anyway, like and sub, and until next time, bye.